Hi guys! So today I have another product review for you. I apologize if my eye makeup doesn't look all that great. I didn't want to touch it up because I wanted to show you how this makeup looks after a couple of hours. But anyway, I'm reviewing the Makeup Revolution Salvation Palette in Unicorns Unite, which is this guy right here. And that's what it looks like inside. It's got a bunch of bright colors, mostly shimmers and some mattes. All the circle ones are matte. So yeah, so I just wanted to show you that this is what the makeup look looks like about 3.5 to almost 4 hours later. I mean, it's not bad. It's just not great. It's definitely faded a bit. Hopefully this tutorial will already be out. If not, I will include some like before and after pictures. But yeah, I just wanted to review this palette for you. I do have a couple of these palettes that I got from the London Jugs event, but this is the one I've used most at this point, so I thought I would review it separately. First of all, I just wanted to point out that the packaging, I don't really like it much. It kind of reminds me of BH Cosmetics packaging, which is always in a very boring black package. This is even worse because it's super shiny, so it gets covered in fingerprints. And the packaging tells you absolutely nothing about it. I got another palette. So I have two Revolution palettes, and they both look exactly the same. One's a little bigger, but they tell you absolutely nothing about what's inside. So if you have a lot of palettes, or if you have a lot of Makeup Revolution palettes, you're gonna have to open them up unless you remember like the names of them. Also, I find this one kind of hard to open. It's getting better now, so I guess it's like loosening up. But I used to have to kind of dig my nails in under here, which isn't great for nail polish. So if you value your nail polish, these are kind of hard. Also, I like to open them from the corner because it does less damage to my nails usually. But the mirror inside here is only barely connected to the back, so I was always a little worried about cutting myself on the mirror or breaking the mirror. But that's not super important. What's more important is the actual quality of the eyeshadows. I will have full swatches of this palette up on my blog, so I will link that blog post down below. I find a lot of these colors are sort of hit and miss, and while they swatch really pigmented, sort of like on your fingers, that pigmentation doesn't seem to transfer on the eyelid or even into like a hand swatch. For example, I'll show you this green, the blue I'm wearing today, and the pink. So that's what those look like there on my fingers. Already you can see the pink is not as pigmented as it looks in the palette, but the other two look really nice. And these ones actually are really not bad, but the pink is really, really disappointing. I really wanted that to be a nice, bright, fun pink I could put into really weird makeup looks. The other two are really nice, though I had quite different experiences working with them on my eyelids. The green was really great to work with, and I really, really love how it turned out. I do have a tutorial up on that one already, which I will link down below and in a card, so you can go and watch that if you want. The blue is what I have on the inside of my lids today, and as you can see, it's faded quite quickly, but it also took a lot of building up to get it to an intensity that looked anything like the pan. It's really beautiful and really metallic and glowy, but it was a bit of work to work with, if that makes any sense. Also, the copper color, which hopefully looks copper to you, apparently David thinks it looks pink, but it's not the greatest to work with. It's kind of hard to blend, which is unfortunate because it's a really beautiful color that swatches really, really beautifully. It's like a really bright orange new penny type of color, so that's that there. So those are okay. They're not particularly great, but these are fairly inexpensive palettes, so it still might be worth it for you. The mattes, well, I really enjoy that they included mattes in this palette for transition or just like to break up the textures. They're not the best. That's what they look like there on my fingers. I just did a creamy color, a transition color, and a black. They're not bad, they're just not great. Also, as you can see, hopefully here on my hand, they do swatch a bit chalky. So you have to be careful with that, especially with the darker colors. With the lighter colors, it's not going to matter as much. But you want to make sure to tap off your brush and not get that all over your face. I do really like that middle color there as a transition color. It's really quite nice to work with. But yeah, I mean, they're not phenomenal. The worst one is probably this purple one, which again swatches pretty nicely, but when you put it on the skin, it kind of disappears and it's really not that great. A little bit underwhelming. Overall, how is this palette to work with? It's pretty good. It takes a lot of building up a color to like an opacity and a bit of work to blend as well, but the colors are really, really creamy and they do pack on nicely if slowly. So I don't know, I guess it's a mediocre palette for me. It's got a lot of really beautiful colors and it's nice that you can get them from such an inexpensive brand. Unfortunately, I can't remember the price right now, so I will put it on the screen somewhere. But yeah, if you're looking for some colorful stuff and you can't afford like an Urban Decay Vice palette or something like that, then I would recommend maybe trying this out, but just know that you're not going to get quite the pigmentation or instant color payoff that you would get from something from one of the higher end brands. But yeah, it's a fun way to get some random colors that you might not be able to get without going to the higher end brands. So yeah, I feel like that's pretty much all I have to say about this palette. Like I said, I will have a full picture of all of the swatches of all of the colors up on my blog, which will be again linked down below. So yeah, I think overall, whether you are or should be interested in this palette depends on whether you have the ability or the desire or are willing to spend the money to get a higher end palette, which will have better quality and better pigmentation and better staying power than this. I am also wearing a primer, by the way. This is not just on my eyelids and fading, this is with a primer. So yeah, it's an okay palette. Let me know if you've tried this palette or any of the other Makeup Revolution palettes in the comments down below. And yeah, let me know what you think. Tell me if you had a bit of a different experience or the same sort of opinion that I had. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys. Alright, and now I'm going to try and use this palette completely on its own. So I'm going to go in and use this matte shade right here as my transition color.